Think of how much information that the Q movement posted through TikTok over the last 4 years that would have never reached the people were it not for this app, whether you believe it or not. No, 100% I believe. Yeah, absolutely. No, no doubt. No doubt, because they purged all the Q people in 2020. And a ton of them went to, the massive amount of purge that YouTube did is criminal. And they did it all at once. And the majority of the people, even though everybody likes to say, oh no, it was doctors, and yeah, maybe some of the doctors speaking up against COVID, but no, it was the majority that they got rid of was Q people. I didn't follow Q, as I've said. I think they will be, owed a great debt of thank you by the American people, though. They deserve that. There's those people, though, and I've come across them because I didn't follow Q because I didn't find out about it till 2019, and I've said before, that's not the drops with Q was something you had to follow, and what started in 2017. So I would just see this stuff on Parler and sometimes couldn't make heads and tails of it. Other times I would see stuff that was interesting and I'd look into it. So that was my extent with Q. But what happened, though, is that there's those people that really aren't about Q, but they're part of that shadow government, or they pay these people to get on. And when I would see some of them, it's like, wait a minute, you're not part of Q, but they would claim it. And then they would say stuff like, Donald Trump's parents aren't really his parents. His parents, his dad was General Patton, and like stuff that I would think is insulting to Donald Trump because he's proud of his parents, and yet you would look into that and there was absolutely no evidence to it. But because that person on TikTok had said some other things that were true and claimed they were about Q, then and I would come across those people. I didn't follow them, but I would often come across them, and I think you're just so trying to lead people astray. Because what a shitty thing to say that, oh, Donald Trump was adopted, and you're going to find all that. Like, that's just trying to make people, not trust the real Q people, the real people that followed Q. The only person I followed pretty heavily before getting on TikTok, because I've only been on TikTok for, I think, 2 years, was and I followed her to Rumble, and she never did have a TikTok channel, but was Amazing Polly. I think most Q followers knew who she was. She doesn't really claim she claims, yes, she was interested in the Q stuff. She followed it and looked into stuff. What was great about her is she would do those long videos and connect every dot. Like, without her help, I would have. She doesn't post anymore now because she pretty much has decided Donald Trump's part of them, and I don't think that's true. But I think she really put so much effort into her videos, and she's the one that made people realize Jordan Peterson isn't who people think. Like, he's not on the right side of this. And because she tied together his whole arc. He's got this whole arc thing. He calls it the ARC. I forget what the acronym stands for. But those people are all designed just to control you too. Like, and what he does that I don't like is he confuses the Bible, and you don't need to confuse it. But he's too higher educated. But I think he's just meant to try to pull people in, and this will be the new narrative to follow, kind of thing. And she tied all these pieces to that arc in Jordan Peterson. So, yeah, I think that I don't think Q would have been successful without TikTok, because the one biggest difference with TikTok is that you'll get reach. Over the past year, though, it seems like somebody's messing with it, because I get people on this platform will say, yeah, TikTok will shadow ban, but they didn't when I first got on it. They did take videos down sometimes, and as time's gone on, they take more down. I think that's that struggle or war that's going on with who's controlling it, like, I think there's kind of this war with who's controlling the algorithm. And because people would say that if you post at this time of the day, they won't take you down, and then it would, I'd have two channels up, and on one channel they'll take a video down, but then on the other channel they'll leave it up. But on, they'll say it's on misinformation. So it's almost like it's different people that are really, doing the bidding for the bad side, and then a bunch of people doing it for the good side, trying to let people put the truth out. But the one thing that no other platform allows, not YouTube, not Instagram, not X, not Twitter, none of them, is reach. Elon Musk himself said that he'll give you free speech, but not reach. So he doesn't realize that's him spitting all over the First Amendment. But that's why I get so pissed off at that alternative media, and I know I call them out all the time, because they have done the same thing that those fake Q people did. They just want to mislead people, and yet then they act like they're Trump supporters, because there's no way those platforms, and they have big followings, didn't know that Elon was suppressing speech. Like, they never should have called him a free speech absolutist. Never, because he said himself, I'll give you freedom of speech, but not reach. So that's suppressing speech. It's like, but no, I think if and I think that's why Trump didn't want to, even though he was talking about making TikTok divest, he knew how it was going to play out. He knew it wouldn't be until after he was out of office. Then all these politicians would want it removed, and that's what happened. Because while he was in, everybody was saying, no, you can't suppress speech and all this. So he didn't do. But it's almost like he knew that's how it would play out. So it ended up being the platform that Q was able to make the biggest impact on us. The two, without both of those, well, the light may never have been shined down for people. So yeah, I think a great gratitude will go to Q and TikTok, and the very fact that it was called TikTok just said it all. So I did on my other channel, and I haven't posted it here yet, I went back into Donald Trump's archived tweets about, and put in the search bar TikTok to see everything, like, because it'll go through everything that he ever posted on Twitter and Truth. And he said back in March 2024 that Facebook was a bigger danger to America than TikTok, because he said they interfered with an election. TikTok didn't. So think about all those media, all that alternative media that has carried on about TikTok, or when they just don't say anything, which their silence says everything. They all didn't, none of those media people, whether they support Donald Trump or don't, they don't respect free speech. Because if they did, they should have been paying attention when Trump said in March 2024 that Facebook is a bigger danger. Plus, he said, I don't want TikTok removed, because if you remove TikTok, it will give all the money and the power to Facebook, which is what the Democrats and Biden want. I mean, because again, for those Democrats that don't realize it, TikTok is going away because Biden signed into law to get rid of it. So you can hate on Trump all you want, but it was Biden that signed away free speech.